Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industry. This issue sponsored by Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and press room consumables. Ovato continues to dominate the headlines this week. We're outside the former headquarters here in Union Street in Sydney. The once mighty print business that was formed when PMP and IPMG merged 3 years ago is now in administration. Latest news is the administrators have given interested parties until tomorrow, Friday, to give them expressions of interest, and have said they want binding offers in 2 weeks' time, the 11th of August. Potential buyers, there are a few. They have to include the rival IVE, of course, as well as part owner and biggest customer, magazine publisher R, well in fact R Media's owner, Mercury Capital, which also majority owns the Blue Star Group in New Zealand, and which prints obviously all R's magazines. Recent investor in Ovato, the cash-rich Opus Group owner, Hong Kong-based Left Field Print Group. They can't be discounted. In addition, there'll be plenty of private equity funds looking at a business that has long-term contracts and for which they'll be able to shed the legacy cost issues. Code that Ovato gave for the existing employment contracts and workplace agreements that it cited as one of the primary reasons it became unsustainable. Ovato now comprises the Australian heat set business with plants in New South Wales, West Australia and Queensland, its packaging operation based out of Brisbane, the commercial printer in Cairns, and its Auckland-based sheet-fed business. Of course, it closed Auckland Heat Set earlier in the year. The Australian business generated sales of $123 million in the first half of this year, down by a third on the previous year. The decrease mostly, though, due to the sale of its marketing and distribution businesses, the Gordon & Gotch, of course, the former distribution business. But its heat set activity also took a 9% hit. New Zealand business achieved $33 million worth of revenue, but of course most of that will be from the now defunct heat set operation. Some 60% of Ovato revenue comes from catalogues, 25% from magazines, 7% from its packaging activities. The first creditors meeting will likely take place next week, although the exact date has not yet been revealed or decided by the administrators. Meanwhile, investment in print continues. Southern Impact has ordered a new 10-colour Heidelberg XL106 5/5 long perfector. It will join its existing 6-colour Heidelberg B1 press as the company ramps up its investment in new technology. The new XL106 is going to arrive in March, and it will replace the company's existing 10-colour XL106, which it installed 9 years ago. It will go into Southern's main Mount Waverley production centre. The new press, which will run alongside that 6-colour straight B1 that was used for short-run colour critical POS work, and that press itself will now receive in-field upgrades. Both presses at Southern are running 24 hours Monday to Wednesday, 12 hours plus overtime Thursday to Saturday. The organiser of PacPrint says some $50 million worth of sales were done during the show last month, with exhibitors, it says, also going home with several months worth of leads, which the organisers say could translate into another $50 million worth of sales. The business transacted at the show, and thousands of new sales leads generated were many more than at the last pre-pandemic show, Printex 19. And exhibitors say they expect to generate flow-on sales, well, of the magnitude again over the coming months, of that 50 million. Sales from PacPrint included Southern Impact, again, with the country's first B2 HP Indigo 15K, Revolution Print getting into labels with Iconic coming onto label print setup, Footprint on the other side of the country getting into labels also with an Epson label setup, ABC Photoscience, EFI Pro wide format system. Dates have been released for the industry trade shows by the organisers for the next 3 years. Visual Impact in Sydney next year, in Brisbane the year after, and PacPrint in Sydney 2025. Go to print21.com.au for all the dates, and in fact go to print21.com.au for all these stories and more in full detail. That's it for this week's issue. Thanks to our sponsor Ball & Doggett. This is me, Wayne Robinson, signing off outside what was the Ovato HQ. Keep up to date on print21.com.au. Check in every day to find out the latest on that story. This is Wayne Robinson signing off.